Hi Leah, welcome to Tricrest.
Hi.
Leah, you're the CEO of Appointed, an online booking service for business. Tell me how you got started with that business.
So Appointed started as a bit of a brainchild when I was in my previous job. I was a magazine editor of a homes and interiors publication, and it was a very busy job, and I would spend my drive to work thinking of all of the things I would get done in my lunch hour, and then I would drive home after hours not having achieved any of my personal to-do list. And a lot of that to-do list was kind of making appointments, so whether it was a salon appointment or booking a plumber or a whole host of different things. And so I just kind of felt that personal frustration of why couldn't you book independent businesses in the way that you could book, I don't know, order a pizza online or anything like that. Unfortunately, or fortunately as it turned out, I was then made redundant after the financial crash, and it just gave me the opportunity to spend some time really building up the idea of what Appointed could be whilst I was freelancing. So I was kind of bootstrapping the business, working with an independent web developer to see what that proof of concept could look like and kind of what kind of bookings we could power for what kind of businesses. So it was fairly organic start, I would say, because I was doing it alongside freelancing in the backdrop of the financial crash. There wasn't a lot of money there and investment, but over time we got to a beta product of the software, and I won one of the very first Scottish Edge Awards, and that was really when the business became a business. So.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. So that was around 2008, 2009?
No, so 2010 when I was made redundant.
Right.
So yeah, we'd made it through. It was one of those every month the magazine used to go to print, and every month I would think, oh, this is going to be the month. And the one month that I started to relax was the month that they said, oh no, sorry, we're going to have to close. You can keep your company car till the end of the week. It was like, okay. And the rug was pulled out. But yeah, the Scottish Edge Award was 2013, so that gives you a sense of how long it kind of took in those really early times. And I think, you know, quite often people don't realise that of some businesses, that it does take a while to really get through that ideas stage. But actually that stage for us was invaluable because I spent a lot of time, and largely because we didn't have any money to really invest, or the development was slow. I spent a lot of time speaking to potential customers and really understanding the problem. And I think that stood me in really good stead of understanding what independent businesses needed when it came to online booking and what their problems were, what they needed from kind of the business management of just the booking. And that's led us to have quite a differentiation in the market.
Ah, that's interesting. So who are your clients?
We have such a variety.
Right.
It's such a wide range of businesses now that use Appointed. So we started off in the SME sector, so independent businesses, and actually version 1 was just salons and spas. So that was kind of our beachhead market. So that's a mainstay for us. We have other kind of therapeutic businesses, a lot of health and fitness, everything across financial advisory, consultants, that side of things, smaller retailers, distilleries. Obviously here in Scotland we have a rich array of distilleries, and we're very proud to power a number of the biggest names in the Scottish whisky industry. And then we do everything up to Marks and Spencer use our software to power bookings. We work with one of the big 4 accounting firms. We work in a lot of B2B sectors around powering sales bookings. People generally use us to convert when they're having a lot of traffic hitting a website or some kind of online flow, but they need to convert into either a face-to-face or a call. And that's when Appointed really comes into its own. And we're really proud that it is one system that all of those businesses use. It's a very flexible tool. So the software that is being used by, you know, Marks and Spencer or one of the big 4 accounting, some of the biggest companies in the world, is also available for an independent business from £10 a month.
Oh, that's fantastic, because our audience are SME business owners. They're usually founders. Sometimes they're only in the startup phase. Sometimes they're a bit bigger. But that sounds like it's an ideal tool for them.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Sounds like it could be useful for us too as we grow. Okay, so what's been the scariest moment in business so far?
I think there's been a number of moments when you look back that you think, oh my gosh, you know, how did we get through that? There was a particularly challenging one. I think probably looking back, the hardest piece to get through was raising our very first round of investment. Okay. I think I always knew it would take longer than I hoped. But I think looking back, there were points at which, you know, the company definitely could have died. I was very lucky, as I say, to win one of the very first Scottish Edge Awards. And from that, we hired our first developer. So that brought the technology in-house and brought that expertise in-house. But it also started the ticking time bomb of payroll. Yeah. And I totally underestimated that, if I'm honest. You know, I'd been lucky that I was freelancing and just bankrolling. And yeah, we lived on beans and toast for a while and all of that kind of apocryphal startup journey. But once you've kind of enticed a very talented and kind of, passionate developer to come and join you, it's like, right, I've got to keep the lights on here. Yeah. And that, I think, was the scariest bit, waiting for, you know, those initial commitments, then going through the due diligence process, the legal process. And I was very lucky. I borrowed £3,000 from my mum and dad that I still haven't paid back. I'm looking at it as an investment. And that was what got us through to that initial investment. We've raised 1.5 million since then. So we've had a few rounds of investment, and we've got some very supportive and amazing investors. But yeah, that very first round was terrifying in hindsight.
Yeah, suddenly it's not just your mouth to feed, it's somebody else's mouth to feed. And it's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah, huge. Yeah. I think, you know it kind of academically, I guess. And, you know, I was very excited about making that first job offer. But I do think, the responsibility probably took me by surprise, of that kind of fear of, you know, this is not just me, this is no longer, because I think it had taken me a while to get off the ground. I was kind of used to flying by the seat of my pants. But yeah, the responsibility when you've got a staff member is very different.
Right. Is that staff member still with you as a matter of interest?
No. Oh. So although he only moved on about a year ago and moved to another startup, and we're still great friends. I was at his wedding recently, and actually testament to that relationship, I think we had just a very honest and open conversation about that. And he was ready for a new challenge. He'd been with us for 6 years at that time. So it's a long time for somebody. And he was getting married and getting ready for the next stage of his life and wanted a new challenge. And actually, that movement, as much as, you know, if you'd have asked me, did I want that person to go, I definitely would have said no. But actually that movement then frees up an energy within the rest of the team. So there's 21 of us now. So it's a very different business to what it was at that beginning point. And I think one of the things I've learned is it takes different people and the different skill sets at different stages of the business. So as much as it's always sad to lose somebody when they decide to move on, actually then what comes from that is quite magical in itself. And Greg, our CTO, I think has, you know, definitely felt the loss of an early employee, but has been able to then look at the team and reshift everyone around. And I think we're stronger for it. And still good pals.
Good. What do you love about running your business? It's very different from a startup now, 21 staff.
Yeah.
You've had investment. I know you're going to go for more investment. It's a very different beast that you're in charge of now. Do you still love it?
Yes, I do. Okay. I mean, it is so different, but the team are amazing. So I think we're really lucky there. They are very passionate about what we do. They're very driven. And we have a great culture, I would say. We really try and embrace each other's kind of differences and quirks, and we try and make it easy for people to bring their whole self to work. And, you know, that can look like very different things for different people. And I really enjoy seeing that kind of family grow, I guess, without wanting to sound too cliched. So I love it. And I'm so passionate about our opportunity, about what we do for businesses. We get some amazing kind of testimonials from businesses where, you know, sometimes totally unprompted, they'll get in touch and say, I don't think I'd still be in business if it wasn't for Appointed. You know, your tools are invaluable to me. And that just makes me so proud. And it kind of blows my mind. I was chatting to one of our developers recently, and he was saying he loved his job because he's like, who gets to come to work and create something out of nothing every day? And I was like, that's such a wonderful way to think about technology and building software, that, you know, it's lines of code that create something so valuable within so many businesses. So I love the cause, I love what we do, and I love the people that we get to do it with.
Brilliant. So it's a real purpose-led business.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, wonderful. What don't you like, Leah? What's the downside?
I think it's in the same vein with the people side. One of the things, as I say, we like to kind of embrace people's whole selves. We like to be brave when it comes to hiring. We've had a lot of people join the business at an early stage of their career, and we've developed them through. And we know it takes a certain magic and a kind of certain hardcoreness to survive in any startup, I think. But to business at the stage that we are. And so the really hard thing is sometimes that means that people don't make it through. And we have quite a kind of mindful policy of hire slowly and fire fast. But I hate it every time I have to do it. It's horrendous. But I kind of look at it as the necessary evil that you have to go through to make, you know, to take risks and make the product as good as it is, and to create a team that's as strong and as kind of robust as it is. I think, you know, we generally know fairly quickly when somebody isn't going to work out, and I think I've learnt the hard way that it's really tough to pull that around, and it takes a dedication and a structure that probably isn't the best use of resources as much as anything in a business at that scale up stage. So I absolutely hate it, but it's a necessary evil, and it's always been done, you know. So again, we've never had to part ways with somebody where it has been acrimonious in any way. We're always very honest and open and kind of heart-centered when we have these conversations, and we always do our best to find, you know, the right fit and help and make introductions and such like. But it's still brutal.
Well, we call it releasing into the wild, because if it's not working for the individual, it's not working for the business. It's better for both parties that you part. Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. I remember the first time I had to do it, and it turned into a really open and honest conversation where the person said, you know, I would never have handed my notice in because I really wanted this to work, but I kind of know it's not right as well. And it's horrible, but it's a necessary evil, I guess.
It is, definitely. So who inspires you?
I'm inspired by so many different people. I love it when kind of people do unexpected. So one of the really obvious answer is my daughter is named after Hedy Lamarr, who really inspired me, and kind of, so the name stuck with me and has definitely stuck with my daughter. So Hedy Lamarr, lots of people know her as a very beautiful actress, and she was the actress that both Snow White and Catwoman were modelled on. So she's a very dark beauty, and did lots of kind of very groundbreaking films, actually, and then went on to invent the technology that now underpins Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So she holds the patent. So crazy. Wow. So just one of these people that has had such a rich life full of surprise. And I always love that when you learn something about people. One of the interview questions that we ask everybody who comes through is, what makes you hardcore? And we want to uncover that kind of surprising thing that they tell us about themselves. And, you know, sometimes it's really mundane, sometimes it's really wacky, but it's so interesting to understand just that quirk of somebody. And I think it's so inspiring when you kind of see somebody who has done something totally unexpected.
Fantastic. I love that interview question. What makes you hardcore? I'm going to steal that if that's okay.
Definitely.
Good. What gets you out of bed in the morning?
my daughter generally, like 2 o'clock in the morning. No, I mean, yeah, Hetty's amazing, and she's at a really fun age at the moment.
How old is she?
So she's just coming up for 2.5.
Right,
So absolutely crazy. The time has flown, and yeah, she's so much fun. So we feel very lucky to have kind of, yeah, such an amazing kind of, you know, you come home from work and you've had whatever day you've had, sometimes you've had to release somebody into the wild.
Yes.
And yeah, she just doesn't care about any of that, and she's so excited, and she just wants you to dance or for you to come and play dolls or whatever, and that, like, for me is amazing. But yeah, otherwise, you know, the passion that we have for the product and for the mission, and the market opportunity that we have at the moment. I think, you know, we're being hardcore at the moment, and it does feel like as a business we're firing on all cylinders. We're trying to grow very quickly, at the same time putting in a kind of robustness. So we're just going through our ISO 27001 accreditation at the moment. So, you know, things like that are slightly counterintuitive to growing fast, you know, but just seeing that shape into the business that, like, I don't think I would have ever dreamed of when I was driving in the car thinking about making bookings. It's really exciting, and it does feel like a new challenge and a new journey every day.
Fantastic, wonderful. Apart from Hedy, what keeps you awake at night?
I'm quite lucky in that I sleep fairly well. I'm not necessarily a worrier, but I don't know. There's definitely, you know, sometimes when you've got something like not the right fit, or, you know, that kind of thing, I will wrangle with it. But I'm much more likely to be kind of woken up by an aha moment, which I really love. We are lucky to have a number of amazing advisors, mentors, and investors in the business. But recently, I've had a couple of conversations with Gareth Williams, who is the co-founder and now chairman of Skyscanner, and twice I've woken up in the middle of the night with a bit of you know, something that has crystallised perhaps and is not necessarily kind of where the conversation has started, but as, you know, I've been able to almost subconsciously distill it into something that feels like the right fit for Appointed. So one example of that is we're just working with one of our customers, Westfield shopping centres in London, and we're working with them on a really exciting new project. And it was a total aha moment in the middle of the night. Brilliant. And that kept me up then, because I was like, oh, and this, and this, and this. We use Slack in the business, and everybody laughs at me that I am known for creating a Slack channel in the dead of night, doing a brain dump into it, and then having a conversation over a couple of months, thinking that other people are in this Slack channel and just forgetting I didn't add anybody else in. So I'm just in a little echo chamber by myself, wondering why nobody's playing. So that keeps me up at night sometimes.
That's hilarious. Most people just have a pen and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
No, you're on Slack.
Technology business.
Right, of course. Of course. If your business was a person, how would you describe its personality, its character?
Hardcore.
Hardcore. Right.
We are, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I love this about the team, but they are so hardcore. Yeah, it's definitely cliche, work hard, play hard, but we do. There's a real kind of gravitas and dedication to the team, and we definitely go over and above. We find ourselves using lots of sports kind of metaphors in the business. One of our kind of values is we move as one, and, you know, that like often will come out in a kind of, you know, somebody being there when you're just about to pass the ball and that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's a grit and determination to Appointed. We'd definitely be a rugby team, not a netball team. Although our COO does play netball, so maybe. But yeah, there is a grit, there's a determination, but there's also a lot of fun and a lot of love and empathy. And yeah, we love karaoke, so that person would love karaoke.
Oh, good. Right, so you've got to be a singer.
Well, no, none of us can really. No, a couple of us can really sing. I cannot sing, and a couple of us really can't. But yeah, an Appointed night out generally ends up in karaoke at some point.
Right, okay, that's interesting. Where next? Where's the business going to next?
So at a really exciting stage, we are in the process of raising our biggest ever round of investment, and that's going to really help us make the most of the market opportunity at the moment. We are in a very lucky place when I started Appointed. Certainly when we were moving into the kind of more enterprise businesses, we were having to educate the market on why online booking, you know, why would you want to take online bookings? Whereas now, a number of businesses will come to us totally organically, and they absolutely know why they want to engage with their customer online, and they know exactly the customer journey that they want to build. And Appointed's tools are really flexible, so we can essentially, we have over 150 different booking journeys across the businesses that we use, and that just gives you a sense of the different types of ways that people use us. And so yeah, we're really excited about what that looks like, with kind of an injection of capital and an educated market and a kind of trending proposition. So
Fantastic.
the sky's the limit.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. Well, Leah, thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Best of luck with raising the investment, and we will get the Appointed system on to Tricrest so people can book appointments with our expert contributors. I think that's a fantastic way forward.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.